Hi guys, I'm Ben,
And I'm Nathan.
and welcome back to the Pride of Villa. We're here for the start of our season review. Yes, Aston Villa in 2019 to 20. We're going to go through. It's going to be a three-part series, if you will. We're going to be going through some different themes and ideas through these next three videos. So hopefully you do like what we're going to be producing. These are going to be longer videos. So if you're not interested in longer videos or us talking about a bit more in detail about the football itself, I recommend go watching something else to our channel or at least subscribing so we can get those numbers up. But in this video, we're going to be going through an in-depth look at the 2019 to 2020 season for Aston Villa, probably in the Premier League, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and just anything else that we can discuss, including the transfers, stats from this season, and our thoughts. So if you are going to enjoy this video and the season review, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, get commenting. We've had almost a surge in views over the past two of our videos. Just want to say thank you for that. So let's hope we can keep it going. As I said, it is going to be a little bit longer, so we're not going to be surprised if there's not as much views, but hopefully you do enjoy this video. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. Nathan, this is the season review. Aston Villa finished this season in the Premier League in 17th place. We've had a Carabao Cup final. We've had some appalling FA Cup matches. We've had some interesting times over this season. But what do you make of that 2019 to 2020 for Aston Villa?
It's been an emotional roller coaster, if I may say so.
Yeah.
As we all know, the last 3 years, the last three seasons, the last game was basically determined which league we'll be in. We've been to Wembley 3 times last 3 years, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's just been amazing, basically. Obviously, the last few months has been really bad for us, but it ended on a good note. We stayed up in the Premier League. Were we deserving of it? Maybe. Coming to the end, I think we did deserve it. We showed that we can stay up. In terms of the lockdown, did it work for us or not? I think it did, really, because it made other teams sort of like
lose form.
Not as good. You know what I mean? They just weren't up for it as much. Obviously, there were some teams like Man United who came out the stronger sides. Obviously, they made it to third. But for Aston Villa, we've sort of used it in a way. Not that it really helped us, but somehow we got 17th, and I'm happy with it. Before this season started, I said 14th, but maybe next season we even get 10th or something. I'm thinking mid-table, but in terms of this season, it's been mental. You could say it felt like 2 seasons, obviously because of the lockdown. The first half of the season was okay, and just coming before the lockdown, we were just on this stupid roll of losses. Some games that we should have got, some games that we knew we were going to lose, but we lost quite dreadfully. For instance, the Leicester losing 4-0. But yeah, what do you think?
Aston Villa in 2019 and 20. The main ambition this season, there was a lot of excitement going into it. Obviously, we'd come up from 3 years in the Championship, a really good second half to the third Championship season with Dean Smith. Obviously, won the Championship playoffs. We finally were coming home. Brought in a whole new team for over, I think it's 150 million. Following letting go of the players and obviously the reshift that Dean Smith wanted to implement. The main priority this season was just to, survive the relegation fight. As I said, we've had some ups. We've had a few good victories here and there. Everton, Burnley, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Watford. We've had some good fixtures. We've also had bad fixtures, obviously. Man City, Leicester, Man United, Tottenham. It has been low at times. We reached the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah.
You know, and although we were in the relegation bottom three since February, to come out of it on the last day, surviving to the skin of our teeth on a draw when Bournemouth, Watford could have easily went over past us. It was really emotional and overall just so exciting to see, because that's what we've been missing from the Championship, because you can get to a point in the Championship where you know the season's really over and you're just going to get bored of it. With the Premier League, it's always exciting. There's always a twist and tail. But for me, I think this season is overall, you know, we've achieved our main goal, but we've also gone that little bit further in the Carabao Cup final, survived the relegation, did it in good fashion. I think overall the season has been a success to a bit more of a success. You know, it's if you would have said in the 2 years that Dean Smith had taken over, he'd get us promoted to the Premier League through the playoffs. He'd win that, keep us up by relegation in his first ever season in the Prem, get to a Carabao Cup final in his first ever season. You know, you'd be really over the moon with that. And I think we have delivered. It's just obviously the case of next season, it's got to be better. And hopefully, with the excitement that's gone on since that final day in the Premier League this season, it's only going to get better and better. You know, there's been good players that have come out of it. There's been bad players that have come out of it. For me, overall, it's just been it's the ending that we want. You know, because we do get the end result. You just wish it can be better in places, and so it's just got to be better next season. So we're going to move on to the next part of the video. We're going to talk about every fixture this season. Now, I don't know exactly what fixtures we're going to be talking about. I know I say in the intro, Premier League, FA Cup, blah, blah, blah. Nathan, just give us a quick run through of the fixtures we're going to be talking about. Is it just the Premier League, or are we going to be talking about almost everything this season?
We'll start from the first fixture, obviously, because I've written them all down, obviously. Yeah. Tottenham versus Aston Villa.
Okay.
Right. So basically we're coming out of the Championship. Every Aston Villa fan's buzzing. If you looked at some of the videos that came out just before the game, the Villa fans just amazing. The atmosphere amazing. We start off with a goal, obviously.
Yep, McGinn.
From John McGinn.
Yep.
And that was just one of the best starts to the Premier League. Obviously, Tanguy Ndombele.
Tanguy Ndombele.
Yeah, he gets out the next goal. Then Harry Kane gets 2 goals after. Obviously, when the fixtures came out, we were just like, I don't think we're going to win this, but it's a nice place to start. Tottenham Stadium's amazing, honestly. It's like an airport, basically.
Yeah, I think we came into, obviously, we saw the fixtures, and obviously Tottenham was going to be the first one. They'd just come off, although losing the Champions League final, making it that far, and very impressively doing it. It was simple. I think no one was really that confident, although you get the loonies on Twitter. No one was really that confident. You know, we're thinking, we're going into it 7 minutes in. You scored that goal from McGinn, you're thinking, could it be? What a great start to the season. And to be fair to them, for the 70 minutes, they did really well, keeping Tottenham off, but simply just got the better of. So I think overall for that, it didn't really affect us that much because it was the first game of the season. You know, there's going to be plenty more that we're going to experience. We're going against a top team at the time. It really just didn't matter, but it was the performance that showed maybe there is something for us this season.
So, the next one was Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. And at the time, we were all just like, we're going to win this. Obviously, Bournemouth aren't really... Well, they haven't really been in form at all. There's a reason why they went down. Under Eddie Howe. This was on the 17th of August, and we lost 2-1 with a goal from Joshua King, then Harry Wilson, and obviously it ended off with a great goal from Douglas Luiz. I thought we were going to win that one, but, you know, it was at Aston Villa as well, so it was good. It should have been a win, but I think it got the better of us. I think we went into that game thinking it's a little bit too easy.
Yeah.
But
First home game of the season, obviously, didn't start off the way we wanted to. Really poor character from Tom Eaton to give away that penalty within a minute, from what I remember. And then obviously to go 2-0 down. We do get an equaliser, seeing the talent that Douglas Luiz was bringing to Aston Villa. But overall, it was yet again just, although it was the start of the season, you can let it go sometimes. I think the overriding feeling was, although it is the start of the season, we're going against a Bournemouth team that have never really done anything in the Premier League, and really we should have been getting something out of it, even though we're only into our second game. There should have been something coming out of it. But from what I remember, Nathan, we go on to a very good result.
Oh, yeah. I remember this day very, very well. So, it's Aston Villa versus Everton on the 23rd of August, and we won 2-0. Two amazing goals, I'd say. I know they looked a little bit scrappy, but if you were there, like that's one of the games you would love to have been at. Yeah. So it was from Wesley and El Ghazi. Good goals. The atmosphere was buzzing again. First win for Aston Villa, first 3 points. And yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah. I think this result's gone under the radar a bit, but I think this is probably up there with one of the most, I'd say best fixtures we had. Because simply put, although we didn't have the win in the past 2 games, the passion from the fans was there. It was under the floodlights at the time, and we was going into it thinking, I reckon we could get something out of it. And then obviously we go in and put in, although a bit shaky at times, an overall good performance. Wesley gets his first goal of the season for a brilliant assist from Jota. And then in the final minute, we get another goal from El Ghazi to score that win. But overall, it was just the energy and the electricity going through that crowd on that evening that just made it a really special night for Villa, one that we wouldn't see for quite a bit.
So, next one. Actually, I do remember this very, very well because this one really got me angry. So this was Crystal Palace against Aston Villa on the 31st of August. It should have been 1-1, but at the end it was a goal from Jordan Ayew. If you didn't know, it ended in a very weird situation involving Grealish. Lansbury got the goal. The fans were going mental. It should have been 1-1. But I think the referee blew the whistle. And weirdly enough, Grealish got a yellow card. And if anything, it should have been a penalty to Villa. If I remember correctly, it was just disgusting. I think they gave Grealish a yellow card for, I don't know, it's getting me mad already. I can't talk about it. That's why I'm so glad that we won against them next time I saw them. But what do you think?
Really quick on this one. Nothing really happened in the game. Apart from obviously one of the first proper instances of VAR. We go through on goal. I think it's, from what I remember, I think Grealish is fouled on the edge of the box. He doesn't give it as a foul, even though it clearly is. He plays advantage, and then Lansbury goes on and scores. They not only rescind the goal, but they give Grealish a yellow card. And I remember the fans just going mental after that one. But it wasn't really. Although he was fussed with the VAR, I don't think really anyone was fussed about the results. I think overall it was just really poor. But there was nothing really much to say on that one.
Nah. So now we go on to Aston Villa versus West Ham. And this was on the 16th of September. I believe we had an international break before this. It was just a draw at the end, no goals. Just, if I remember, the only thing that really happened was El Ghazi and Mings were having a bit of a fight.
Scrap.
But yeah, I think it was because El Ghazi wasn't really in a defensive mood, and I think we could have conceded. So Mings just laid into him, which he was probably deserving of it. But I don't know. I don't think El Ghazi is the type for defence. Like he's more of a goal scorer now, but boring game.
Some people use the same as its counterpart latter the season. Really boring, really poor from both sides. Nothing really worth talking about apart from the scrap. Just El Ghazi not really being good defensively. And it showed. We could have conceded, but we didn't. Really poor in game football. We'll move on to the next one.
So this was probably one of my favourite ones, even though we did lose. It was Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa. And it was 3-2 to Arsenal with a first goal from John McGinn, because he loves a goal. Then it went on to Nicholas Pepe, and then Callum Chambers, then Bamyang, and then Mings, I believe. I haven't really wrote it down properly. This was on the 22nd of September. A load of goals in this game. I didn't think anything like it. Arsenal didn't really have the best season, but obviously they've just won the FA Cup. But they've finished in 8th. I thought we could have won that game. It was at the Emirates, so obviously the fans probably got the better of our squad. But yeah, 3-2. Amazing, to be honest, even though we didn't win. What do you think?
Yeah, again, didn't get to watch this. Listened to it on the radio, but from the sound point, very interesting game. Obviously, we go 1-0 ahead because of Greg Ismail Ghazi, McKean being superb again. And then Engels gives away a penalty to Arsenal because Pepe takes it, makes it 1-1. And I think it's about a minute or two later, Villa go up the pitch and score. Jack Grealish assisting Wesley with a simple tapping, really nicely there. And then I remember this because I was so annoyed with it, even though we were only a few games in. It really did feel like it was going against us. Aston Villa go on to concede 2 really sloppy goals. The second one, just not good enough from Mings. It's knocked in by Chambers. And then the final goal is a free kick from Aubameyang, which I think could have been saved very easily. But then again, it was top 16. Not a lot of us were expecting any quality to come out from it. Not a good result. Although we did give it a good go, it just didn't happen. But again, that would come later in the season. Next one.
Aston Villa versus Burnley. This was on the 28th of September. This was a game we should have just won. Should have won this 2-1 or something. It was 2-2. First goal, Anwar Ghazi, then Jay Rodriguez, then John McGinn, then Robbie Brady. Obviously, Burnley is someone we should be getting some sort of point from. Obviously, we did get a point from them, but I think we should have won that game. We did come out very strong in the second half, I believe.
Yeah.
I do like Sean Dyche, their manager, and I feel like Burnley's sort of like us in a way. Yeah. Sean Dyche has this way about him, and I do respect them a lot. What do you think?
I've always said, I said it to you when it happened a few weeks ago. To me, Burnley's the team that we should be moulding ourselves off us. They've got a great manager, great attacking style. Although they're a team that works on a smaller budget, they're able to produce some good players like Tarkowski, Ben Mee, Ashley Barnes, Nick Pope, and that lot. But in terms of the result, I don't remember it the best, to be honest, but I just remember just a really scrappy game overall. Some good chances here and there. Both teams really seized the attacking opportunities, but it just ending in a dull draw in the end.
So, we go on to a bit of annihilation, if I may say so. This was Norwich versus Aston Villa. Why do I keep saying atmosphere? So this was on the 5th of October. I thought this was a long time coming. It was 5-1 to Aston Villa. Starting from 2 goals from Wesley. Then we go on to Jack, Hurahan, Louise. Then obviously a mistake from, I believe it was Mings to Heaton. And a goal from Joseph Dermick, I think that's how you say it. I love this game. I knew after 2-0, there's not really a reason to watch it, basically, because I knew we were going to get 3 points. Obviously, I was still supporting them, but it was just amazing to get that win. Obviously, it is Norwich. They have like sort of let themselves go. Like in the Championship, they were amazing. But they came into the Premier League, and I believe they didn't even buy one player. If that's true, it's a bit stupid if you ask me. You need new experience. You do need Premiership experience to get into the Premier League, but they didn't do it, and that's sort of the reason that we annihilated them that day.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I was at work that day, so I didn't really watch it live. I've only seen highlights of it. But simply put, it was an annihilation of a really poor team. Although they did spend some money, just not a lot. I think the max they spent was about 5 million. And so we were just tore them apart. 2 good goals from Wesley back on the score sheet there. Nice to see Grealish get his first goal. Hurahan and Douglas Luiz again with another worldie of a goal, but it was just really a nice fixture to see.
So we go on to Aston Villa versus Brighton.
Ooh,
this is another game I really remember
another
well.
good game.
This was on the 19th of October, and it was 2-1 to Aston Villa. So it starts off, we didn't really look very good, and Brighton get a goal from Adam Webster, and then I think it was the second half. I'm not too sure. I don't remember that well. But Grealish got a goal, then Target obviously got that screamer at the end. These sort of games I like. I like it when your opponent takes the lead and then you come out with a win because it's just
the resilience.
The atmosphere. Oh, it's just amazing. I love these sort of wins. It was a good game at the end. Like, it's good 3 points. Brighton, I don't think they've been that good this season at all. I wouldn't say they're lucky to stay up. I feel like they should have probably been 17th where we are. But all in all, good game. And yeah, another 3 points.
Yeah. Just speaking on Brighton really quick, obviously they've signed Adam Lallana and Veltman. I think they're going down. I think Brighton should be a team that can do so much better, but just never do. Because they're never just able to hit the next ceiling. And I think this season it's going to show, because I don't think the players that they have signed are going to be good enough. Although Lallana has been good, I haven't seen the talent in him. And Veltman, although he's a Champions League player with Ajax, I just don't see it. But in terms of the result, it was a really good match for Villa's perspective. I agree with you in the aspect that I like when we go a goal down, because it's then that aspect of, we're going to get the comeback on and who knows, get the last minute winner. And that was the case here. We're able to get it. VAR yet again intervening on Wesley goal. Not Wesley goal, Hurahan goal. But we come back with a Grealish goal, and then Target obviously getting that last minute goal to give us another 3 points, 2 wins in a row.
Okay, so this, I think it was expected from this one. This is Man City versus Aston Villa. The 26th of Villa. So, I won't lie. I went into this thinking we'd win. I don't know why. I think it was just because of the last 2 games. I think I got a bit arsey about it. Yeah. So we go into this game. I thought we were all right for the first 10 minutes. I thought we held on to the ball well. But obviously it was 3-0 to Man City. To be honest, now I've got a bit more knowledge on everyone in the Premier League. That's okay in a way. Like, you could lose 6-0 to Man City at their home.
Which we did.
Obviously.
We lost it at home.
Yeah, we did. But their goal scorers was Sterling, Silva, and Gundogan.
Yeah, simply put, it was Premier League champions. We all knew we weren't going to get anything out of it. And although it could have been worse, it just wasn't good. Let's face it. But we all accepted it. It was Man City. Just get on and go with it again. Yeah.
So, next game is Aston Villa versus Liverpool. And this was on the 2nd of November. And this was actually an okay game. Obviously, we lost 2-1. we had a great goal from Trezeguet. This was his first goal. This is when I sort of started to like him a lot more. And obviously, Robertson got his goal, and then Main got his goal. Good game. I thought we did great against the champions. A lot of respect to Liverpool. I do like their manager as well, Klopp. I think they've really sorted their team out well to become the championship. I'm talking about champions. Next season, they could even go for it again with the players they have. But I feel like Man City will probably just get that edge over them. But in terms of the game, I think we did well. Obviously, we could have lost like 4-0 or something again, but I was glad that we showed fight in it. Obviously, we're not really a match for Liverpool just yet. We're not sure who we're going to bring in this transfer window. But even then, we're like, what's going to happen? But yeah, we lost 2-1, and it was a write-off, really. What do you think?
It was a really good performance from Villa. Obviously, we got 1-0 up in the first 15 minutes from Trezeguet. Really well defensively, and then just the last 10 minutes just capitulate. But again, it's Liverpool, quality side, Premier League winners this season. Do I think they're going to do it again? No, I think this is the end of...
Yeah, I can't really see it.
I don't see it happening again. I think Man City will retake over, perhaps maybe Chelsea. Although I've got a feeling Arsenal. I think if Arsenal get the right players in, I think Arsenal can do something. But I just don't see Liverpool doing it really anymore. I think not the time's up. I just think this moment in their history is just coming to an end. But yeah, simply put, fixture. It was Liverpool. Didn't really expect much. Maybe could have had it, but just didn't go away.
Yeah. So some might consider this next fixture as a West Midlands derby, but I know Ben certainly doesn't. It was Wolves against Aston Villa on the 10th of November. We lost 2-1, and the goal scorers was Neves, Jimenez, and then Trezeguet once again. I remember this game. I don't think we were really that good. They sort of dominated it, but I do remember that stupid goal at the end from Trezeguet. No one in the crowd was cheering. I don't think anyone even knew it was a goal, but at least we kept it wasn't a clean sheet, but it was just a crap one. To be honest, I don't really consider it as a derby anymore. I used to, but I think they're a bit too big to compete with, if you know what I mean. I know we can take them on because obviously we lost to 1-0 the last game, but it's Wolves at the end of the day. They've just challenged for Europa. So what do you think?
This was 2-1 at their hand. I think I remember saying that Smith should have gone after this match, which now thinking about it, it's completely wrong because really this was the first time he'd lost in a little bit. Well, not the first time because he lost Liverpool. But I don't consider it. I don't consider it a derby. I've already said it to you. I think us and Birmingham City is the real derby. I think in terms of ability, I think West Brom, because I think Wolves are just way ahead. I think Wolves it's just a derby. It's not a derby. It's just two teams there in the West Midlands. I think Wolves are more of rivals with West Brom than we are, because I think West Brom are much closer. Simple performance-wise, it was absolutely appalling. Rubbish 90 minutes of football to watch. I think really that's when it started going a little bit down. But I think from what I remember, we come up with a cheeky win here, Nathan.
Oh yeah, so this game is Villa versus Newcastle. Obviously, we know who the manager of Newcastle is, but that doesn't really come into it. Obviously, it was Bruce. A lot of people saw it as a must-win to show Bruce like how big we are and all that. Like, there's a lot of tension with Bruce still, and I don't really know why. He's left now. Let's just leave it at that. But It was a 2-0 win. Great game on the 25th of November with 2 goals from Hurahan and El Ghazi. And if you asked me before this game who would actually get the goals, I would have said them two because I thought it was the right time for it. Obviously, they've worked under Bruce. Or as El Ghazi. I'm not too sure.
Bruce.
Did El Ghazi? Is it Bruce who signed El Ghazi?
Yes.
Oh, it's ages ago. Sorry. So yeah, it was a 2-0 win. Amazing atmosphere. Obviously, Aston Villa.
Stop saying
Sorry
it.
about that. Aston Villa. So yeah, amazing atmosphere. The Villa fans loved it. Obviously, it was better because it was against Bruce. We got the 3 points. Yeah, I think it was a long time coming. Obviously, we've had that 3-game run without a win. But can you really blame us for losing? Because obviously we were against 3 of like the really good clubs. But yeah, 2-0. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, not a real massive result there, just something that needed to be done. And it was obviously at home, we managed to get the win there, and just really nice and easy.
Just before I go on to the next game, I'll just talk about Newcastle right now. These people who are meant to buy into Newcastle pulled out. A lot of the Newcastle fans are like dreading next season for relegation. I don't think it's that bad. I think they will be in sort of a relegation battle, but I don't think they will get relegated. I think they'll probably be in Brighton's position right now. But I don't know. It's like they're thinking about the money in this, and I think they've already got the experience in the team to stay in the Premier League. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. So the next game was quite a big game actually, with an amazing goal. Man United versus Villa. This was a 2-2 draw on the 1st of December. And the first goal came from Grealish. Amazing goal. If you tell me Grealish doesn't have talent, just look at this video. Amazing. The way he controlled the ball and how the ball went in. I don't know how we didn't win it, basically, with that experience we had. Obviously, Man United got a goal from Lindelof. And then Mings got a goal. I think that was his first goal. And then there was a late goal, I believe, and it just came off Tom Heaton, so it was a lone goal. Yeah. So 2-2, a draw against Man United at Old Trafford. You would take that any day.
Yeah. Obviously, Man United, yeah, again, another top 16, wasn't thinking of much. But overall, it was a decent result. Obviously, we go 1-0 up through Grealish brilliance. Couldn't see 2 sloppy goals. And then we come back at it with Mings, 2-2. And it was a fair result, that's what you could argue from watching that game. Was tricky at times. The quality did show through their younger players, and we were able to stuck in and get a point from the top 6.
Yeah. So, next game, which was a write-off, I would say. Chelsea versus Villa. This was a 2-1 to Chelsea on the 4th of December. So it was the first goal from Abraham, who used to be a player for us. I respect him a lot. I like him. I wish he came back. And then Trezeguet got a big goal. Amazing goal, actually. And then Mount came up with one at the end. It's Chelsea at the end of the day. We're not really going to win against them, even though they have just lost against Arsenal in the FA Cup. They've had some weird games, obviously, against West Ham and lost to them. I don't think we really compete with them with the team we have right now. Going into next season, depending on who we have, we might be able to, but where they've left off in the season, in the table, it's a bit worrying for next season if you're talking about challenging them. But 2-1, could have easily been 4-1 or something, but I don't care.
Yeah. He was, again, top 6, just wasn't really that worth worrying about. Could have done a little bit better, I think. Just really ashamed to see the goal straight after half time. But again, youth talent for Chelsea is immense. And definitely one that I think we're going to really be worrying about next season.
Yeah. So this was sort of the time Aston Villa were sort of worried about where we'd be in the table. Sort of worrying about relegation starting from now. On the 8th of December, win against Leicester at Aston Villa's home. We lost 4-1 with the goal scorers Vardy, Iheanacho, then Grealish got a nice one, Evans and Vardy. I thought we were doing okay for the first 10 minutes, but it was Leicester. I think they were at the prime of their season around this time.
Mm.
They're getting amazing goals. Obviously, with Vardy and James Maddison and all these people in their squad, they're going to get goals out of this. And obviously, they annihilated us in a way, our own home. But coming to the end of the season for Leicester, they've been absolutely dreadful. Obviously, they lost at Bournemouth's home 4-1. So I'm not sure if that was done on purpose to put Villa down, but we're staying up, so I don't really care. But what do you think?
Really dejectful performance again.
Yeah.
I agree with you in the sense that this is probably the turning point of the season for us. Because although we weren't at the bottom, we were still around there. But this game for me really was where it all started. It just wasn't good enough. And although Leicester were probably at this time, as you say, in their prime, the only team that could have challenged Liverpool this season, it was just one of those games we were just into the quality that was going through the team at the moment. Really exuded us. But we just carried on.
So the next game was Sheffield United versus Villa. This was a 2-0 defeat on the 14th of December. I went into this quite hopeful, even though it was at their home. Obviously, we lost 2-0 with 2 goals from Fleck. Terrible game. Went into it, just weren't up for it at all. And there's a reason we lost. We were at Sheffield United's home, and obviously they're under the manager of Chris Wilder. I thought he should have got player. Manager. Yeah, he should have. I think he should have. I think Klopp won it at the end, but he's done great for their club. I don't care where they've left off at. They could have got Europa if they kept to what they were doing from the start of the season. But obviously, I think they went down a little bit. But where they've left off, that is just amazing for a club who's only just got into the Premier League. So, yeah, I think next season we should really be trying to challenge them, even though we should really be doing it right now because we did come up at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think?
Sheffield United, I had them pipping going down because they're just not a Premier League team to me. I thought their squads, even still now, still think it's rubbish. I just think it's all in the manager. And, to be fair to them, they did really well this season. Should have got top 6. But, there were some better teams this season. In terms of the match, it was just rubbish, weren't it? Just rubbish. Just nothing really to talk about because we just didn't do anything. It was exactly like the same fixture in the Championship for our final season. Really dejectful, really boring, and just totally uninspiring.
There's been a lot of moments like that with Villa, like when we know we're losing. It's just like, can any of our players put some effort in, just like try and get some sort of result? And this seems to be an ongoing thing. Obviously, we did have a lot of losses. And going on to the next game, Villa versus Southampton. This was on the 21st of December. We lost 3-1. 2 goals from Ings, 1 from Grealish and 1 from Stevens. I remember getting mental about this because I thought we should have got a point at least, but at the end it didn't go our way. It was just, this is when I was sort of like back to the Championship. We should be going for teams like Southampton, but to be honest, the last 10 games, Southampton ain't been bad. They've been quite good, to be honest. But
that was after their 9-0 defeat, wasn't it? They were starting to come back into contention again. But
can't believe that happened.
Really poor again. Really dreadful. I remember watching the fan cams on Villa View, and everyone was just the same. Like, you've got to start being worried now, even though we were only in December. But simply, it just wasn't good enough. Ian Grealish getting another good goal, but it just wasn't getting good, and the transfer window was looking really bleak for us.
So this is when we were like, well, seems we'll be back, even though it was against Norwich. So it was Aston Villa versus Norwich on the 26th of December, so day after Christmas. So We got the win. It was a 1-0 win. I thought we could have done better as it is Norwich, but I'm not too sure. I could be very wrong about this. They just won against Man City. I'm not too sure. Hurahan got the goal. It was great. I think it was a dragged out game. Got the 3 points at the end. And yeah, there's not really much to say about it.
That was a game that I think we definitely could have lost again. I think we only just scraped. I think Norwich were a much better team. But yeah, it was just nice we got 3 points there, give fans something at least to be a little bit more positive about for a really turbulent time.
So we go on to Watford versus Villa on the 28th of December. So this game, I remember talking to so many people like, yeah, this is how we're going to get out of this situation now. We can take Watford on, because I knew Watford weren't that much of a good team. There's a reason they've been relegated, obviously, because they're stupid. They keep sacking their managers. It was a 3-0 defeat. So Troy Deeney got 2 goals and ended off with Sarr. This was absolute crap game, I think, from Villa.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if we went into this thinking we've already won it or we've just gone into this like shaking and being very worried. But 3-0 loss to Watford, that's just an absolute joke.
Yeah. It simply just was a joke. Again, Smith out was really getting into its effect. You could have argued it should have been the time. But, you know, we shouldn't have been losing to a team like that, especially Watford, considering the players they have. Troy Deeney, you arse. To say PG-wise. But in simply put, it just wasn't good enough, and it was really, really dejectful.
So we start the new year, obviously, on the 1st of January, and it's a game of Burnley versus Aston Villa. I'm not going to lie, you don't really want to have your first game back at Burnley, do you? I know there is better stadiums, but we got the win. It was 2-1 at the end. Wesley, Jack Grealish, and then Wood got the goals. There was a terrible mistake, I believe, in the first half. I'm not sure if it was a goal from our part or their part. This was ages ago, but I remember the VAR was taking up 10 minutes and it was just an absolute disgrace. It's not needed at all. VAR is just meant to get a second opinion and the right opinion on whether it's a goal or not, whether it's a red card, yellow card, it's stuff like this. But it was just stupid what was going on. But it was 3 points at the end, so.
Yeah. Good result. I think it was a bit of a surprise to people. But this was, yet again, I think another turning point because this was the game we lost Wesley and Heaton, I believe.
Yeah.
No, we lost Heaton at Wolves and we lost Wesley this game. But I think this one was really the moment that he became like, oh, God. But again, 2 great goals. Nice to see Wesley. I think for me, this was when Wesley was starting to hit the form. I think this was when he was going to start coming good, but then he got injured. I think that's what's really been crucial this season, someone like him. Although you can slate him.
I love Wesley.
I want to see what he does next season. I've said it enough times. I want to see him and Smatter together. I think that could be good. But you know, we're going into it now needing a striker, a goalkeeper. Really coming down to the last week with the way Villa work, because usually we don't sign people to the last day. I believe at this point we'd already agreed for Danny Drinkwater to come in, which made sense, you know. Because midfield we needed somebody, although the wages was a little bit, oh God, you know,
joke.
This was really the opportunity for him for the last time, probably to make his authority as a Premier League player. Didn't work out, but nice result, and yet again, just another turning point of the season.
So, talk about turning points. This was Villa versus Man City on the 12th of January. Oh God, this game was just dreadful.
Oh God.
So it was 6-1 at the end. Let's just get it out there. 6-1. Marius got 2 goals. Guerra got his. Jesus got his goal. Guerra got another one. Phil Foden got a goal. And then just when we thought they were going to get a clean sheet, El Ghazi got a penalty and obviously scored. Dreadful game. Just absolutely crap. Like, you need. I know you're against like a big team, but we should have showed some effort. There was just nothing from anyone. I remember Mings was like really bad in that game.
Yeah.
A lot of the players, it's just, oh, it was disgusting. And this is the game Danny Drinkwater played in. And I remember he's one of the reasons we conceded one of the first goals. And it's just, I don't want him still. I don't know why he's still at Villa. Why is he still
He would
with
have
us?
gone.
Like,
He would have gone now. But
please go, please.
simply put, worst performances. Not worst performance this season.
I could think of a few.
Yeah, it was later on. But simply, it just wasn't good enough. Again, Man City, you can argue it's just top six, but 6-1. We hadn't seen that since Liverpool.
No.
Since Chelsea. He just wasn't good. For Drinkwater's debut, absolutely shocking. It's just a complete capitulation on the pitch.
So the next one was, this was actually quite a funny one, because I'll tell you in it. So it was Brighton versus Villa on the 18th of January. It was 1-1 at the end. Grealish got a goal and Trossard got a goal. And I remember at the end, we were trying to get that last goal, but I think Dean was like, it's not going to happen. So I believe they literally was on the verge of getting a goal. Mopé was just about to get it. And Ming just slides in and takes him out, basically. I'm not sure he got booked or anything. I think he got a yellow card, I believe. Yeah. The match has ended. It's 1-1. And then
the massive fight.
There's a weird fight going on. Obviously, Mopé's here, Mings is up here. Mopé's going on like that. It was really funny. It was a point at the end. I think we could have done better, but I think that was the highlight of the game, the fight. I can't get any videos, obviously. I can't find them anywhere. It was just so funny. But yeah, that was a funny game.
Yeah, really a nothing game. The only thing that comes to me is Grealish again, hitting the form and showing why he was going to leave. Though. Yeah, if he is going to leave, go out swinging, and he did. But really, just a nothing fixture.
So we go on to quite a good game. I love this game. I can remember it very perfectly. Villa versus Watford. It was a 2-1 win to Villa. 21st of January. So I'll just go through it here. It feels like a year ago, but I can't believe it. So we start off. Deeney gets the goal. What does he do? He goes into the whole end and starts doing that stupid, ugly face he does. Oh my God. He looked like a stupid, squealing pig. So we go on into the game. I remember just saying to my dad, it's done. Forget it. I'm not watching. Obviously, I'll keep watching. Luiz gets that lovely goal. It was a little bit scrappy, but it went. He didn't care. He loved it. Went into the away. The fan. Oh, what am I talking about? The away end. He went into the whole end, risking a yellow card. But he got with all the fans, and that's what I love to see. A player who plays for the fans, and I think that is him. Good goal. I like that. And then we go into the last 3 minutes, I believe, and this was sort of a masterclass, if you ask me. Yeah. So this was, I believe, Pepe Reina's first game. Not too sure.
No.
Was it?
It was right. It was Pepe Reina. It was like 92 minutes. Pepe Reina brings the ball in all the way from the goal.
Yeah, I loved it.
It's passed over to somebody. It's crossed in. Mings gets a head on it, completely skips him, from what I believe.
No. Konza gets the goal, basically, but it comes off Mings' foot.
No, but that's what I'm saying, the lead up to it. So Mings gets a header off it. He's rolling around. At that point, Konza's on the edge of the box. He whacks it. He goes in. Place goes mental. Amazing. Truly amazing moment. I remember pulling my hammy and having to spend the morning after it on my way to college in New Street, just hobbling around like a homeless person. But in the replays, it was like it revealed that only by slimmest of margins it comes off Mings because of the change in deflection. But simply put, amazing win, amazing fixture. A lot of people did believe it was, something that we were going to start. We're going to do Southampton. You know, we had, from what I believe, the time of this fixture, you know, we were coming towards the end of the transfer window. We were rumoured with Samata, who I believe we did
Yeah.
bring in, and then we'd go on to the final transfer day. But overall, a tremendous result and what to remember.
So we're going on to Bournemouth versus Villa, and just before this was the semi-finals to Carabao Cup when we beat Leicester 2-1.
Yep.
That was Samata's debut, and he should have got the goal. So we get into this game. Obviously, Bournemouth get the win. It's on the 15th of February, so it's a few days after the amazing win against Leicester, which I absolutely loved. I was there. I'll just say it again. I was there. Obviously, Billing get the goal first in Ake, and then Samata gets that lovely header at the end. This is what we thought we were getting from Samata. We thought we were getting headers like this, but it hasn't really happened yet. I think the last one where he had the masterclass was at Wembley against Man City with that amazing header. That's just what we want to see, but we haven't really seen that much. Is it because he's not getting the service? Or is it because he's not putting in 110%? I do think he's not putting in the effort.
Yeah.
2-1 to Bournemouth. I don't think we were too good. Neither was Bournemouth, but obviously Bournemouth wanted it more. And yeah, we lost.
Yeah. 2-1 away defeat. Again, it was just a poor result. It should have been one that we won. Considering Bournemouth were around the same form at the time. Samata getting a second goal. His first goal, being the first Tanzania to score in the Premier League, which is a really nice moment for him. But simply put, it just wasn't good enough. And yet again, really from this point on, it just felt like starting to clench time.
So
next one.
All right, so we're going on to Villa versus Tottenham on the 16th of February.
Oh.
This was an absolute weird game.
This is the angle. This is the game of beyond angles.
And some might say Pepe Reina. But,
well, no, because not Pepe Reina. It wasn't really Pepe Reina's fault. No, that's probably the next game. That's the next game.
I'll get into that. So, I remember this. So, obviously, Alderweireld scored an own goal, I think.
He does. Yeah,
he scored an own goal. We're going mental. I'm not sure if he had who like one of our players he came off of.
It was an El Ghazi crossing, wasn't it? I know because if he wasn't going off Alderweireld, Samata was there to head it in, but he came off Alderweireld.
So yeah, he gets a goal, and then I believe either Son or Alderweireld
Alderweireld
got the goal.
Yeah, it was Alderweireld. It was that corner. Don't really remember how that happened, but it was just one you just got to accept and get on with the game.
He just wanted to put things right, which I can completely agree with.
Yep.
Son got the next goal, and then Engels got the next goal after, and then this is when everything just started getting stupid. I think we were trying to do a Watford again, where Pepe Reina comes out of the box, shoots it into their box, try and get the goal, completely goes stupid. The ball sort of gets passed to Engels. He completely misses it. I don't know how he did, but then Son got a hold of it. Pepe was out of the goal, and yeah, they scored. Stupid. I think we should have at least got a point from that game. Tottenham was not great at all, but they did get the win. It was just stupid, and I just remember after. I think I was just more mad at Pepe for not being in the goal.
Yeah. I think I've already said it. For me, this game sticks out as the game of beyond angles. I think this is what I'll always remember it for. Simply put, it just wasn't good enough that last moment. I agree. We should have got the point. Because we did look lively at the start. Tottenham grew into it, obviously, which is a bit of a shame. And then that last goal was just so horrendous. And I think that's really the last we probably see of beyond angles. And then, from what I hopefully believe, we go on to a... Oh, no, we don't.
Go on to Southampton versus Villa.
Yep.
So, this was a 2-0 defeat, and it was on the 22nd of February. So, the first goal goes in from Long. And then the next one, another mistake from Pepe. I believe this time he's in their box, completely comes out of the way. I think he was just trying to get that. He was just trying to give that helping hand of another extra player.
Yeah.
Just do not ever do this. Whoever you support, just make sure your team just doesn't do this. The goalkeeper is a goalkeeper. He's meant to stay in the goal. Like, I don't know how else to say it. So he gets into their goal, completely misses it, and then Armstrong obviously gets the whole of the bloody ball and scores. It could have been 1-1, but it turned out to be 2-0. It's just absolutely stupid mistake from Reina. And I think that really lied on him. I don't think anyone played well that game, but that last goal was definitely on Reina.
Yeah, just like Sheffield United, really just a nothing game. Just not a good result, and yeah, just nothing really worth talking about. But then, just before we do go on to it, this is obviously at a point where we start the channel, obviously, because we go into it with Leicester City, the Leicester City match and the Man City game. We just came into it, so we're giving it a bit of a go now properly. But obviously we lose the 2-1 Carabao Cup final. Although it was a good effort, we were robbed by VAR. And we could have had something else out there, I believe, because Man City just weren't there for the turn-up. But we then go on to, for what a lot of people felt like this was the Titanic of our season. We're going down. Leicester City 4, Aston Villa 0, and
If you haven't seen the video, it is on our channel, obviously.
Yeah, go check it out. It's right at the start. One of our better videos.
I don't know why, though, because there's a hand on Ben's shoulder.
But simply put, we've said it then. Now it was absolutely garbage. For me, Smith, if there was ever a moment for Smith to go, it should have been then. Losing 4-0. Pepe Reina first goal, absolutely calamitous, and then VAR incident, and then it just gets worse and worse, and it's just dreadful. Just go watch the video because there's nothing really much else to say. But then we go into
lockdown.
It's a lockdown. COVID-19 although it was around the world at this point, it wasn't really affecting a lot of people's lives. Boris announces a lockdown after many of the players, staff, coaching crew, whatever, started getting it. Started becoming more of a national threat. Lockdown. We don't see football for almost 3 to 4 months. And then we return on June 17th, 2020, Sheffield United.
So this game was obviously on the 17th of June. Ended in a 0-0, but it was a bit of a weird moment. What's his name? Nyland. I think it is a goal. It was a goal, but someone didn't flip the switch to make it a goal, so it didn't go through.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the reason Bournemouth really mad at us.
Yeah. It was a 0-0 in the end. That is the only way we stayed up, because that was the point that we gained. It was a goal. I remember watching it. I think the referee's watch was even flashing with goal, and it's
so funny that was.
But really boring game. A really surprising result. Because we were all thinking, Sheffield United, they're just going to turn us over. Obviously, coming back from COVID-19, no one knew what to expect. So in hindsight, even though we definitely should have lost, it was a nice result.
It was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
So we go on to Chelsea now. At Villa's home, it was a 2-1 defeat on the 21st of June. So this is when we started seeing some good football from some particular players. El Mohammadi and House, in Konza. So House gets the goal out of nowhere. Amazing. It was a bit scrappy, but it is what it is. Pulisic is how you say his name.
Pulisic.
I don't know. Yep, he gets the goal, and then Giroud gets the goal too. I was just thinking then, there it's just, we're done for, man. But
It was really damning. We both agreed that it's starting to come to an end.
yeah,
We went 1-0 up really luckily, and then within about 5 minutes, we're 2-1 down from a good Chelsea team. It just felt so deflating. It really just wasn't.
yeah.
It just really was starting to look like the championship was on the horizon.
A lot of people are actually saying now that we should consider getting Giroud, but
No.
I'm not seeing anything from him. I know we wouldn't even get him anyway because obviously he's a big name now. But,
Well, even then, considering Chelsea's still going to have Werner, they need a backup striker. Their best backup striker is Giroud. Then either it's Batshuayi, then Abraham. But go on next game.
So the next game was a very deflating game, you could say. I believe this was the first time me and you were watching it together. Ben came round, obviously with social distance, because that obviously is what we have to do. It was a 1-1 at the end. Dwight Gale got his goal. Elmo got his goal as well. It was on the 24th of June. I think the best way to say is at the end, Grace was on the ground, just absolutely, just looked done basically, just on the ground, stuff like that. And that's just how we were all feeling like, how the hell did we get a result from them? I know it was at their place, but bloody hell.
Yeah. Again, deflating result. Although we did salvage it with a crossing for Emma Hamdi to score. Realistically, this was a team we shouldn't have been losing to. Although Newcastle were coming back into it, having the lockdown work on their favour. Realistically, it shouldn't have been the result that it was. And then we go into, I believe, an even more damning result.
Yeah.
In
Aston Villa versus Wolves, the 27th of June, and I thought we could have won this one.
No,
like you even said that we could get a result.
I said we could have got a result from it, but when we watch it back, it was rubbish. It was exactly like how it happened the first time round. It summed it up in the photo where Grealish is on the ground compared to the Wolves players behind him. That was it. This was just rubbish. I said it at the time, it's just better quality Wolves team. They are what they are. But even then, they didn't have to really try around to scare us. We still lost to them. So it's just really, really deflating.
There was just one goal from Den Donker. They're not really a high-scoring team, but
no,
it is what it is. It's not really a derby.
No.
Because I think we are two completely different teams anyway. But we'll just go on to Liverpool versus Villa. 2-0 Liverpool. Goals from Main and Jones on the 5th of July. Just before I talk about this, one of the things that made me really respect Klopp was he put he had loads of respect for Dean for what he did for his dad. Obviously, his dad passed away, and he's put Dean's dad's coat in the stands, which I thought was just really nice of him. So thanks to Klopp for that. It's really nice. Like, I know, like, you should be treating other teams as if like they're enemies and all, but it's nice they can be like that. And obviously, we lost 2. I thought the first half we were actually quite good. I thought we could have got something from it, but obviously we didn't. I think they dominated the second half, and obviously May and Jones got their goal, and it could have been 4-0, but it was a write-off again, obviously, but it was just really nice that Klopp showed his respects.
Yeah. This was one that I felt we could have actually, win. Simply because I believe
it was a win.
The Liverpool we've seen in this lockdown has just not been good. It's been rubbish, and I think it was because they knew they were going to win the title anyway. But
they wanted 100 points. That's probably why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Simply put, it just wasn't. It didn't really matter to me because it was Liverpool. We already knew what was coming into it, but you just could have. It was just like just a bit more quality, and I think we could have got something out of it. So
this is where we were just like, what the hell? What's going on? So this was Villa versus Man United on the 9th of July. It starts off with a stupid decision from the ref. A lot of other people were saying the same thing about Bruno Fernandes. It should not have been a penalty. It should have been a straight yellow, even a red card on Fernandes.
Yeah.
What he did to Konza was just disgusting. And then obviously Greenwood got the goal and Pogba. So making it 3-0, which is just a crappy game. I didn't watch the end of it, but I thought I was really scummy from Fernandes for what he did. And the decision I went through was just disgusting.
Me and Nathan probably agree on this. I think this was the moment we all thought we're down. Because really, it was the fact that we went into these next 4 games, I think 4 or 5, saying we had to practically win them all. But, you go into that performance, it was dreadful. We were 3-0 down by 60 minutes. I remember sitting there thinking, there's still another half an hour, and because we do this channel, we've got to watch it through.
I wouldn't have.
I just didn't want it. And it just was rubbish. Very poor decision VAR-wise, but again, quality shines through.
So this was sort of the breakthrough. It was, I don't know. So Villa versus Crystal Palace on the 12th of July. 2-0 to Villa. 2 goals from Trezeguet. The first one, scrappy, but I thought the second one was actually quite a good goal. We got our 3 points, I believe, making us go to
30.
30.
30. Yeah, 30.
So this is when we were like, we're back in this. Like 3 points on the go. Just before the game, obviously, there was a lot of racism from an Aston Villa fan towards Wilfried Zaha, which is just disgusting. We're not like that at all, but I just hope it never happens again. And I'm glad Wilfried Zaha did what he did, and the person responsible paid the price for it. It's just disgusting. From them on, I was just like, Crystal Palace is just going to do it over. Like, why wouldn't they after that?
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the 2 goals. And then, weirdly enough, we got the news after Christian Benteke got sent off. I think there was a bit of a fight going on, but we got the 3 points, 2 goals to make goal difference go down, and just like.
Yeah. This is obviously the moment things start to change for us. We get a 2-0 win. And then you're starting to think, what if we can do it?
Yeah.
Performance-wise, it was really good. Trezeguet finally stepping up, showing why, there is some money behind him. Crystal Palace just not turning up. I think that was the key with his last 4 games. Every team just didn't turn up because I think everyone's places was pretty much decided for the season, and everyone's just like, yeah, whatever. But for us, it was the dream is starting to become real.
This is when we were thinking, is the Great Escape going to start to be a reality?
Great Escape.
But then that was just sort of devoured. Yeah. After the game, Everton versus Villa, it should have been a 1-0, well, 2-0 maybe.
Yeah.
First goal from Konza, then the last one from Walcott. I don't. Sorry about me pronouncing these names, but it was just a crappy game at the end. As soon as we concede, we have this problem staying consistent and trying to get these goals, but it was just not going to happen in the end. Konza stepped up his game. You could tell he wanted it and he wanted it for the fans, who respect that man a lot. He's one of the underrated people of Villa, and he's one of those people who make us who we are right now. But 1 point, we're at 31 points right now, and it's just seeming like we're going to go down, but yeah.
Again, we're going into this. Everton, not really a good team. We could have done them over. We get that goal. We're thinking, my God, Konza stepping up, and then it's not really an error. It's just so unlucky. Last 5 minutes we concede. And I remember saying to Nathan and the fan cams, it's over. I don't really see it happening now. I think it had to be a win, although in hindsight, it wasn't overly terrible because that meant
No.
that anything could have happened in the next two games. It really should have been a win. Everyone blaming El Ghazi. I think Villa was just in so shock that they wanted to point the finger at somebody. Whilst I agree, El Ghazi really overall the season just needs to kick up the arse because he just hasn't. When the chance is there, he just never takes it. I just don't really think you can blame it on him for being the cause of the goal because you never could have saw it. But yeah, really are massively deflating. And then we're going to Arsenal, and for me, this is
the game of the season for me.
Yeah, this is the performance of the season, the best game of the season. I think I said it to you. I was saying it in the video when we did the live reaction for West Ham. We're so deflated. We're not really calm by the reaction. For me, this is because I think this game meant so much more than the next game did. Obviously, we stay up in that last game, but for me, this was where all my energy went to, because for me, this was really like, we can do it. Because all we simply needed was a draw from the West Ham game, and to get that win against Arsenal, our first win against the top six, it was like, wow, a brilliant goal from Trezeguet there, again stepping up to the mark. Holding out brilliantly for those 80 plus minutes against the Arsenal team who really wanted it, playing a really good side to try and get top six, and we managed to boss them. It was honestly one, if not the best result we got this season, because had it not been for that, we would have been down. So it was really wonderful to see him put a shift in.
It was just like, I think a lot of people, and I'm not going to blame anyone, they were just going into that game thinking we were going to get annihilated because it's Arsenal, but getting a 1-0 win against them, and obviously this was on the 21st, and it was a Trezeguet goal. Amazing. Like, I was going into it thinking we were going to win, only because I knew it would be a lot of our players the last game at home, like Grealish and that, and they were going to put 110% in. And did he? 100% he did. Like, there was just a lot of highlights from Grealish in that game. One of them that stands out for me was the assist to Davies. Obviously, he didn't get the goal. It should have been 2-0, but that was just amazing, the run he had to assist Davies. But if that's going to be his last home game, that was just something I'm going to remember for life. Like, amazing. But 1-0 against Arsenal. I know they haven't been great this season, but they are under a great manager and someone I really respect, who's Arteta. I think really their hearts was just set on the FA Cup, so that's really why. Obviously, they had the players. They were trying to rest a few of their players, but obviously they brought on quite a few good ones. So you can't really say to Villa that you were against the crap Arsenal side. We were against their best in a way. So we got the 3 points. And talking about this, we were talking about the last 3 games. There was a lot of debate on everywhere, on all social media. Do we need 3 wins? Do we need 2 wins and a draw? Or could we even get away with 2 draws and a win? And that's just going into next game, West Ham versus Villa, which was a 1-1, which was a draw on the 26th of July. One amazing goal from Grealish, and the celebration was just a whole different level to every other goal he scored. Amazing. And then the most unluckiest goal conceded from Yarmolenko to us, to making it 1-1. Just so unlucky, the deflection. Some could argue Reina calculated it wrong, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter anymore. We're staying up. And if you did see Reina's reaction after, if you did watch his live stream, he was really passionate and he really wanted to stay up. And he basically said to us the reason he came in was to help us stay up. And he did at the end. So a lot of respect going to him. But just before I stop talking, Do we want to keep Reina on? Do we want to spend the money to keep him on for that one last year? But before you say no, I do have a bit of a ultimatum, if you might say.
Go on then.
Obviously, we know Heaton isn't fully fit yet for next
He'll be
season.
fit. He will be. He can't be. It's not as if he won't be. I don't see how he's not going to be. I agree. I agree in the sense that
keeping
we may want to
consider.
Yeah, but we've still got Nyland. You know, if it's for three or four games, we can play him. We've still got Jed Steer. You know, he may not have played since Wolves as well.
But we know what his capabilities are.
We know he can do a job. It depends because there has been reports that they've offered him a contract worth $2 million. I'm not anti it. I don't think he'll take it. I think he wants to spend his last 2 years in the game in Milan. I think that's fair enough. But in terms of the game, this is a massive. We'd said it all season. I remember my dad saying it, but simply he came down to the last game of the season. We're on 31 points. No, 32 points.
We're on, 32. Wait, no, we're on 34.
Are we?
Yeah, we ended on 35.
So we're on 34. No, we're on 34 because we won against Arsenal. No, so we're on 34 because we won against Arsenal. Yeah, whatever.
It's 35. I remember correctly.
Yeah, because we drew Sweden game. But Bournemouth were playing Everton. We were playing West Ham.
It was a bit stupid, wasn't it, having all the games at the same time?
Yeah, and Watford were playing Arsenal. Obviously, Watford go on to lose the game. Bournemouth go on to win against Everton, whilst we go on to draw against West Ham. I said it tonight. We've done the reactions. We've done it. You've seen it, Theft, but just to be blunt, massive result. You only had to be a draw. We said it. Minimum 35 points needed. We get those points, and then Grealish. I said if there's ever a moment to do it now. He does it. He scores that goal. Yes. Wonderful. Unfortunate that he's conceding the goal a minute later. But simply, it was just unreal what happened because he just didn't feel real, and I guess that's why we just didn't celebrate. But simply put, we'd done it. Smith's great escape. We'd beaten the odds. We survived. Bournemouth, Watford, and Norwich were going down, whilst we were staying up by the clinch of our teeth, surviving for another season in the Premier League.
This could be cemented for Villa. Yeah. Stay up now. But I'm loving it.
End this video now on a quick little stat review. So Nathan just hits quickly with those stats.
So I've got some stats here. So obviously league position 17th. What do you think of it? What do you think?
That's fine. I said 15th. I think we could have done better this season. But simply put, a lot of these players never played in the Premier League.
Exactly.
Experience-wise, nearly everyone was lacking it. But simply put, really, it's got to be better next season.
So I might have got this wrong, but I'm pretty certain it's right. So in this whole season, we've had 9 wins, 21 losses, and 8 draws. For a first season back, that's okay, considering we've had some great wins. Arsenal, who else? We've had Burnley, we've had Watford, we've had that great one against Norwich. Losses. We're obviously going to have a lot of losses. No one can deny that. We basically went into the season with a completely different team. We had to buy a lot of players, and people said we're going to do it for them, but we just didn't. We didn't at the end. But 8 draws. That's fine. That's 8 points, so it's fine. Top stats goals was 1.1. Goals conceded 1.8. Possession 43%. Pass accuracy 76. So obviously we're not lacking there. We've had 41 goals, 1 set piece. Have we got that right? Headed goals, 3. We haven't really met standards there. Goals outside the box, 4. Inside the box, 37.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I'm expecting to see bigger stats next season because I do think we're going to stay up and I think we're going to have a huge impact on the Premier League. Do you want to just do your? Do you want to just say where you think we're going to end next season?
Well, before we go on to that, just let me talk about the stats.
Go on, tell me.
Loss wise, we are the 3rd team to do that in terms of the most losses, which isn't really a good thing. But wins, we were around the same place you expect. Draws very low compared to last season. Before lockdown, we were the worst defensive record in the league. I think after lockdown, we were probably the 2nd or 3rd best defensively.
Yeah.
I think we were really good. We are the first team to win a game on every day in the week.
Yes, I saw
which
that.
is a nice thing to see. In terms of goals scored and against, needs to be better, simply put. But I do believe next season, if we can get, hopefully, the right people, not only do I think the goals can come in, but I do believe that we will have a much better season, hopefully start pushing for mid-table. We'll add on just a little bit here, then obviously we'll go for predictions. We'll probably end up coming back to this in a fuller video, but for right now, taking a quick guess at it, I'm going to say for Aston Villa next season, 13th. I think it's going to be better, but as I said, we're going to have to come back to this because obviously we'll have hopefully some players. But yeah, I do see it being better this season.
Well, I'm gonna have to say either 9th or 10th, and I'll tell you why.
Oh.
I think we're gonna have a great season. I think we're gonna have some weird wins. Obviously, Watford had that weird one against Liverpool, 3-0. Norwich had that weird win against Man City. So we didn't have any of that. You could consider Arsenal as one, but that was sort of a game we needed. We're going to have a lot of weird games next season, I believe. We're going to have the right players. Right now, we've all got Premier League experience.
Yeah.
We've got a load of players who want it, like Konza, El Mohammadi,
Louise, McGinn.
Yeah. McGinn is a weird one because he could leave, he could stay. He's a bit 50-50.
I don't think he's leaving.
I
don't think we're a week into the transfer window. From what I'm seeing, nothing looks to be coming from McGinn. I don't really see that. I also don't see Jack Grealish leaving now. I don't think it's going to happen.
Because of that £80 million thing.
But I just don't really think. If it's not Man United, I don't know who else is really going to go for Jack Grealish.
Well, there's reports of Arsenal, but I don't think they can financially.
Yeah, they're going for Coutinho. They'll go for elsewhere. But yeah, I think, as you said, I think it's going to be a better season. Hopefully, we get the right players if we do it. I think Dean knows now the mistakes he does make. I think he does need experience. But let's just cross our fingers and hope that it is going to be a better season. But on that note, we're going to end this season review part 1 video. As we said, a little bit longer than usual. But we hope you enjoyed it. If you did stick around to this end point, do leave a like, comment down below what you thought of the video, or on our social pages, tell us there. For the second part of this video, we're going to hopefully be interviewing some of the fans, or just some general, anybody that we can get our hands on, and just get their opinions on what's happened this season, because we want to be always trying to push out the boat a little bit more. But as I say, if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe to us. Obviously, we're doing movement a little bit, you could say. So let's keep it going.
I'm actually really proud of the fans, really, because how many comments we're getting. 500 views in the last 2 videos. What's going on there? We're not even playing in February.
It's getting mental. But without further ado, I've been Ben, he's been Nathan. Up the Villa with the pride of Villa. We'll see you later, boys.